Hello and welcome to Workers' Comp Unwrapped, the podcast that simplifies workers' compensation for physicians. I'm your host, Max, here to give you clear, actionable insights to navigate the medical legal side of workers' comp. So let's get started. Welcome to Season 3, Episode 2 of Workers' Comp Unwrapped. I'm Max.
And I'm Ayesha, really glad to be diving into this topic today. 15 years in the industry, and this one keeps coming up.
Great to have your expertise. Today, we are tackling, a really thorny issue. Liberty Mutual's excessive refund requests. How to fight back.
Yeah.
We're going to explore these demands they're making, even on authorized services, and crucially, how you can challenge them using independent bill review, IBR. We've looked at some great info, including from Daisy Bill on this. So picture this, right? You've done everything correctly. Provided medical services, they were authorized, properly billed, you even got paid.
Right, the check cleared.
Exactly. Then, maybe weeks, maybe months later, boom, a letter lands on your desk demanding some of that money back. Sound familiar?
Oh, absolutely. It's become, honestly, a full-time headache for so many California providers, especially those who really try to follow the rules, get the written authorizations. It's frustrating.
It feels, bewildering is a good word. So that's what this deep dive's about. We want to unpack why this is happening, figure out when a refund request is actually legit.
Because sometimes they are.
True. But more importantly, how you can fight back when they aren't legit, using IBR and, citing the actual California Labor Code. It's about knowing your leverage.
Let's start with what's actually going on. What we're seeing, and what sources confirm, is Liberty Mutual sending these refund demands, sometimes weeks, sometimes even months after the service was provided and paid for.
Yeah.
And we need to be clear. We're not talking about sketchy bills or, services snuck in without approval. These are often for pre-authorized procedures.
Right. Things done totally by the book. And we've seen specific examples, haven't we? Like authorized MRIs.
Spinal injections, definitely.
Even just standard follow-up care. The provider does everything right, gets the RFA approval, treats the patient, submits the bill correctly according to the fee schedule, gets paid.
And then 30, 60, sometimes even 90 days down the line.
They get slapped with this demand. It feels arbitrary.
It can. And the letters themselves, the language they use, it's often really vague. You get phrases like overpayment identified,
right,
or review of fee schedule shows reduction, sometimes just administrative error.
With no detail.
Often very little. No clear breakdown, no calculation showing how they arrived at that number, no specific rule cited. It feels more like an assertion, than an actual explanation.
Which leads us right to the counterpoint,
Yeah.
Legally speaking. California law doesn't just give payers free rein to demand refunds later, does it? Especially if everything was authorized and paid per the OMFS, the official medical fee schedule.
Exactly. Now, to be fair, there are situations where a refund request is legitimate.
Okay, like what?
Well, maybe they accidentally paid you twice for the same service. That happens.
Sure.
Or there was a genuine coding error on your bill, maybe a typo that resulted in an overpayment.
Yeah.
Or, very rarely, perhaps they paid based on an old fee schedule rate by mistake instead of the current OMFS. Those are valid reasons.
But that's the crux of the issue with many of these Liberty Mutual requests, right? The sources we looked at suggest that often none of those valid reasons apply.
Precisely. The procedure was authorized, the billing was accurate based on the OMFS codes used, the payment matched the schedule.
So, what's the justification then? Sometimes, maybe there just isn't a solid one.
Sometimes there isn't one that really holds up under scrutiny, and that's why providers need to know they don't just have to roll over.
This brings up a huge misconception, I think. Providers get this letter and they assume, insurance company wants money back, I must owe it.
That's it, exactly. But you are not automatically obligated to pay it back. The burden of proof is on them, on Liberty Mutual in this case, to prove the refund is justified. They have to make the case.
And California law actually backs that up, doesn't it? We're talking Labor Code, 4603.2.
That's one, yes. And also the California Code of Regulations, CCR section 9792.5.3.
Right, and these basically say if a payer thinks they overpaid, they have to tell the provider why, with the proper explanation.
And crucially, allow for dispute resolution before they try to take the money back.
They can't just claw back the funds from a future payment without notice or a proper legal basis. That's a key protection.
A fundamental one. And if they do improperly recoup funds, say, take it from another payment without resolving the dispute.
And IBR comes into play, independent bill review.
Absolutely. IBR isn't just for when they don't pay you enough. It works for improper refund demands and recoupments too. It's the mechanism for fairness here.
Okay, so let's get practical. A provider listening right now gets one of these demands from Liberty Mutual. What's the playbook? We've got like a 5-step checklist based on what the experts recommend.
Step 1, and this is critical, don't panic. And definitely don't just write a check immediately.
Resist the urge.
Yes. You're not legally required to return funds just because they asked nicely or not so nicely. Take a breath. Assess.
Okay, step 2.
Request documentation. Full documentation. Don't accept vagueness.
What specifically should they ask for?
Ask for a detailed explanation of why they think it's an overpayment. Ask for citations which OMFS rule or regulation justifies this. Ask for the calculation, any error codes. Make them show their work.
Got it. Step 3. Look inward.
Exactly. Review your own records meticulously. Pull out that written RFA authorization.
Proof of approval.
Yes. Then your treatment notes, the original bill you submitted, and the EOR, the explanation of review that came with the original payment. Cross-reference everything. Build your case.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Step 4. Fight back in writing.
Yes. If you look at everything and believe the refund demand is valid, send a formal written rebuttal. Explain why, attach your supporting documents, keep copies of everything. That paper trail is vital.
Okay. And the final step, step 5. If they ignore your rebuttal and take the money anyway,
then you file for IBR, independent bill review. As we said, it applies. And here's the kicker.
Yeah.
If Maximus, the independent reviewer, agrees with you that the refund was improper,
You get the money back.
you get the money back, and Liberty Mutual has to reimburse you for the $195 IBR filing fee. So if you're right, you're made whole. It works.
that's powerful. Are there other scenarios popping up?
Yeah, we've also seen data on cases where Liberty apparently recouped the funds before the provider even had a chance to formally dispute the refund demand.
Wait, they just took it from another payment.
Seemingly, yes, which, as we mentioned, is generally not allowed under the DWC rules. You're supposed to have that chance to dispute first.
So that actually strengthens the provider's case for IBR.
Absolutely. It shows a procedural violation on top of the potentially invalid refund claim, makes it the appeal even stronger.
So let's boil this down. The bottom line for a provider facing this seems pretty clear.
It is. If you perform services that were properly authorized and you bill them correctly according to the OMFS, the payer doesn't just get to change their mind and take the money back without proving a clear error.
Period. The authorization and correct billing should mean something.
It should mean the payment is final, barring those legitimate errors we discussed earlier.
Okay, for providers ready to draft that written rebuttal we talked about, what are some key legal points they should maybe mention, to show they mean business?
Good idea. Citing the actual code sections can be effective. First, Labor Code Section 4603.2e. That's the one confirming you can request second bill review and then IBR if you dispute a payment or a denial. Make it clear IBR applies to refunds.
Okay, 4603.2e. What else?
The other big one is CCR, Section 9792.5.3b. That's the regulation stating if the claims administrator Liberty Mutual here thinks they made a payment in error, they shall provide an explanation of the basis for the refund request.
Shall provide, meaning they have to explain it properly.
Exactly. No more vague, overage statements. They need to spell it out. Quoting that reminds them of their obligation.
And always remember that core principle. The burden of proof is on them.
Always. You don't have to prove why you should keep the money you were already paid based on an authorization. They have to prove definitively why you shouldn't. It flips the script.
Right.
And, as a side note, if they did recoup without proper notice or allowing you to dispute, definitely mention that violation of due process requirements in your IBR filing. It adds weight.
This is all great for fighting back after a demand arrives. But nobody wants this fight constantly. Can providers do anything proactively to prevent these refund surprises in the first place?
Yes, prevention is definitely better than cure here. There are several proactive steps.
Lay them on us.
Okay, 1, track every single authorization. Keep digital copies of those RFAs, especially for anything high cost. That documentation is your shield.
Good first step.
2,
Double, even triple check your billing codes before you hit send. Make sure every modifier, every element perfectly matches what was authorized. Accuracy up front prevents disputes later.
makes sense. Avoid giving them an easy target.
3, educate your billing staff. Train them. Make sure they recognize this refund language, these vague demands, and know never to just process a refund payment without internal review and, ideally, your explicit sign-off.
Your front line needs to be aware. Absolutely. 4, have a dispute template ready to go. Create a standard letter format for challenging these requests. It saves time and ensures you hit all the key points, citing the law, demanding proof, referencing your documentation.
Be prepared. Love it. And 5.
Know your deadlines. If you do need to file for IVR, remember, you generally only have 30 days from the date they took the money back or denied your dispute. Don't miss that window.
30 days. Okay, that's crucial. Maybe setting up an IVR calendar or some kind of workflow makes sense if this is happening often.
Highly recommended if you're seeing a pattern. Being organized is key.
All right, let's rack this up. The main takeaway from this deep dive seems to be, if you're a California provider getting hit with these refund requests from Liberty Mutual, especially for services you know were authorized and paid correctly, don't just accept it.
Absolutely not. You have the right and the tools to challenge it.
Don't let them, frankly, bully you into returning money that you earned fair and square.
Our core advice again, don't assume their letter's gospel. Ask for proof, detailed proof. Quote the law back at them. And if they won't budge, or if they recoup anyway, use IPR.
It's there for a reason.
It is. It's meant to be fast, fair, and as the data shows, it often rules for the provider when payers overstep like this.
Yeah.
It protects your practice.
Okay, here's a final thought to leave everyone with. If you notice that Liberty Mutual, or really any payer, seems to be doing this consistently, sending questionable refund demands over and over, document everything.
Yes.
Every letter, every response, every IBR filing, every outcome, that paper trail, that pattern of behavior, that's absolute gold if things ever need to escalate beyond individual IBRs, maybe towards, say, regulatory attention.
Couldn't agree more. Documentation is power. And thank you for joining us for this deep dive. Hopefully this helps you cut through some of that workers' comp chaos out there.
We hope so too. Catch you next time on Workers' Comp Unwrapped, where we break down the rules so you can break up with the nonsense. Thanks for listening to Workers' Comp Unwrapped. If you found value in today's episode, subscribe and share with fellow doctors. Stay informed and keep making a difference in your patient's care.